What's up, y'all? It's February 6th, 2019, and today I want to talk about that monstrosity of a football game that happened 3 days ago, also known as the Super Bowl. You know, you always got those pretentious motherfuckers out there that say shit like, oh, it was a great defensive struggle and true football fans loved the game, thought it was exciting. It was all about defense and all this other shit. And, you got these pretentious assholes out here saying this shit. Oh, well, the reason why you thought it was boring because they weren't around scoring points and stuff like that. You know, I'm sick of those fucking idiots, and I have to address this. Number one, so it was such a defensive struggle, right? So I guess, the Patriots defense had a lot to do with Jared Goff missing wide open receivers. Just missing guys left and right. Did the Rams defense really play a part in Tom Brady not playing as well as he usually does? He was hitting Julian Edelman, of course, because, the way modern defenses are set up, they leave such a hole in the middle of the field, and you could just attack between the numbers. So that was just a given. But, so you mean to tell me that those defenses, both defenses were just playing so well that they just limited, Tom Brady and Jared Goff and that offense, huh? No. Jared Goff, that was an inexplicable performance. That he just nutted up. In these moments, this is one of those moments where you have to show mental prowess. You have to show mental fortitude, and he simply didn't have it. He shrunk in the biggest moment. If Jared Goff played a half decent, if Jared wasn't out playing fucking Goff and had his mind in the game and had a decent game, just 80% of what he usually did in the regular season, the Rams would have won that game. This was not a defensive struggle. This was just offensive ineptitude. That's all it was. It was like watching a Browns versus Bills game. No, I take that back. It was like watching a Bills versus Arizona game. A Bills and Cardinals game. That's what it was like. You mean to tell me those teams have great defenses? No, they don't. Their offense is just so shitty that they can't score points. They just don't have the ability to score points. Don't be fooled, you guys. This was not a defensive struggle. This was just Sean McVay getting in his own way, Jared Goff nutting up in the biggest moment, Todd Gurley only having 30 rush yards. And that was not because, Bill Belichick and this vaunted, Patriots D. No. It was just offensive ineptitude. That's it. This Super Bowl was the worst I've ever seen in my lifetime. A lot of people like to say it was a Seattle, Denver Super Bowl, but I disagree. I think this one was the worst. It was just utterly disgusting. I mean, y'all, and the people, the football purists that like to say shit like, oh, you should appreciate good defense. No, I appreciate good defense. Like the Saints Cowboys game earlier this season, that was a defensive struggle. The Cowboys defense held Drew Brees under 150 yards passing. That's defensive prowess. Defensive prowess is not looking at Jared Goff making a mockery of himself. That's not defensive prowess. That defensive prowess is not looking at Tom Brady if it ain't Julian Edelman, he's missing it. That's not defensive prowess. Todd Gurley only having 30-something yards because he's not being utilized, which I think he was hurt, but I think he still could. I think he was good enough to where he could have at least gotten, more carries, could have gotten to 70 yards. He was underutilized. This was not a defensive struggle. This was not an exciting defensive game. It was just offensive ineptitude. That's all it was. And you football, quote-unquote, purists, you don't want to admit that shit. You just want to go against the grain and look different and look like you're unique or some shit like that. No, the Super Bowl was boring. Saying that the Super Bowl was exciting because it was a defensive struggle does not make you an interesting person. Okay? You're not going to get pussy for saying that. All right? This had the lowest rating in years for a reason. Most people think it was the worst Super Bowl that they've ever seen for a reason. This was a bad game. And I don't need teams to score 40 fucking points or go get in the shootout. But god damn it, man. Show some offense. Nick Foles was the last quarterback to throw a touchdown in the Super Bowl. And that was last year. That is fucking pathetic. That shows you that both of these quarterbacks were fucking... They weren't good. That's a damn shame. Nick Foles was the last quarterback to throw a fucking touchdown in the Super Bowl. Utterly disgraceful.